Hi everyone. So the provost is going to be releasing a policy regarding our pass-fail option. That is a choice that you can make to change your grading to a pass-fail for this semester. And I wanted to go through just a little bit more about what that would entail for this class. So you must decide about your grading structure by May 20th, which means you have until after you've submitted all your work and your final exam grades are in to make that decision. So you do have a bit of a grace period to make that decision. You can see how well you do in the class and then decide whether you want to change your grade to a pass-fail. You don't have to make this decision now. You must earn a D- or better in order to get a P in the class. In this particular class, that means you must get at least 59 points. In order to figure out how many points you have so far in the class, you can just add up all of the points in your grade book. You wouldn't be adding up anything that has a percentile, just add up all the points. And then you can figure how many more points do I need to get to 59 with a little bit of a buffer. Keep in mind that you want to take into account how well you've been typically doing on your exams. And if you're thinking about potentially not turning in a paper, for example, then you want to make sure that you can very comfortably get to 59 points regardless with your additional work that you're doing. Here is your remaining work and how many points they're each worth. So you can see how many points you have left in play, and you can make some decisions accordingly. Keep in mind there's some very easy points. So for example, the remaining MyLabs and remaining engagement are very easy and straightforward. And you have a lot of points potential in terms of exam 3 and your final exam. Your questionable claims paper is worth 14 points. You can see how many points you have left to get to 59 and use that to make an informed decision about whether you want to, for example, submit a questionable claims paper or not. Some additional considerations. I would say a grade of an A or a B is good for your GPA, and if you're comfortably sitting at an A or a B in terms of your current grade in the class, then you might consider completing the rest of your work to the best of your ability and seeing whether you can get an A or a B, and then making a decision about whether to turn in for pass-fail. Keep in mind that late work is still a thing. Some of you still need to turn in some papers. Some of you will fail unless you turn in some things. If you're way behind on your MyLabs, if you're not turning in your observation paper, you're in danger of earning an F in the class. So check with me if you've got a lot of missing work to see what all you need to do to make it up, even if it's just to earn a pass. Some of you still need to check with me about that. I would recommend that you check with me if you want to change your grading and cut an assignment to assure that you won't be left high and dry. What that means is that if you are thinking, hey, I don't want to turn in my questionable claims paper, I'm just going to go with the pass-fail option, that's fine. I want to make sure that you know that that's an option, but I do want you to check with me so that you don't think, oh, I'm great, I'm just going to be fine with this, and then you end up with an F in the class because of that. So check with me to see what else you have to do in order to keep your grade what it needs to be in order to meet your standards for either pass-fail or a letter grade. And if you have any questions at all, please do talk to me, both in terms of what your current grade is, what work you have remaining that you need to do in order to get the grade that you want, and any other questions that you might have.